back again with another episode of Chop Dope. I'm El Chapo. I'm here today with the legendary Byron Cole, fellow Purple Knight, fellow hardhead, activist, abolitionist. The fucking list just go on. Welcome, my man.
How you doing?
Big Seven, Big Purple in the building, man.
Most definitely.
How you feeling, man?
I'm feeling wonderful, man. I'm blessed. God is good.
Yeah, man. So, we got a lot of questions going on. We got a lot of things we want to hear about.
Let's talk.
So you want? First of all, we gonna start from the beginning. When Mr. Cole hatched the little egg from under Mama Cole, man. Who was Mama Cole, and exactly how important was she into molding you the person you are now?
My mother's resume is so extensive, man, that I can't even begin to try to run it to y'all. But she was an original Black Panther, and she was president of the NAACP.
Wow.
And she did a lot. I can sum it up by saying Mama has beaten more criminal cases on Tulane and Broad than any three living lawyers combined in New Orleans right now, without having a law degree. And so what she understood was that she had to program her people. And so in her understanding of that, of course, that started with her children. So we didn't have no choice about what kind of dudes we was going to be.
So when you say we, how many? How many siblings do you have?
Well, I have other siblings with my father that my mother was responsible for too, so it's 4 of us total. I have 1 sister and 2 brothers.
Right. Okay. Are they active like you?
So active that both my brothers are deceased.
Okay, all right. Sorry.
And my sister is, she was our light. She's extremely intelligent and, was just a nurturer to us.
Okay.
She's the oldest.
So what led to the opening of the community center when your mother opened it?
So, man, my mother didn't open it. So we come from a lineage, right? You know the Head Start program?
Yes.
That's all over the country?
Yeah, for the children.
That started in Liberty, Mississippi.
Wow.
At my relative's house, my great aunt.
Wow.
In the house I live in now, my great aunt, it was my great aunts, my grandma, 2 of my great aunts and my grandmothers, 3 sisters, right? And so they've been doing this and feeding people and getting clothes for people and helping people, right? And so people, now that we, when Mama came along, they had TV and stuff. So now Mama got famous,
right.
And then now I come along, they got the Instagram and everything. And so it's not nothing to be known now.
But truth be told, this started way before the Instagram with you.
Yes. Oh yeah. It started way before Instagram. It's
Facebook,
a lifestyle.
Yeah,
it's a lifestyle. But what I'm pointing out though is that I had advantages, and so did Mama, that my grandmother and my great grandmother didn't have. So you would not know their story. But I have Haitian lineage on my mama's side, straight, dark skin, believe in God, taught the Bible, say your prayers,
Yes.
And that's how we was raised. Good food, good energy, a strong spiritual base and background. And so you might catch me way over here in my behavior, but I got a reference point that is magnetic for me. Is I don't step out of my character unless I'm provoked to in a manner which I feel I need to.
So basically she just always upstaged the government.
My whole family.
Right. So how they felt about it?
When my great grandfather got here to New Orleans, they made a law that no Haitian male over the age of 12 or something could live in Orleans Parish. So my people went to Liberty, Mississippi. Then they had my grandma, and then my grandma had my mama. And when my mama was about 3, they moved to the Desire Project because you could live there now and be over 14 and be of Haitian descent. which I don't know if that book is still on the law is still on the books or not, but that was a real law at one time.
So only Haitian.
Yeah, they just said, you know, there was a great migration after the Haitians beat the French in Haiti.
Yeah.
And I think there was also another cataclysmic event like a tornado, an earthquake, that there were two mass migrations of Haitians to America, and they went to New Orleans and Miami. Because you remember, this is back in the day when there wasn't a city everywhere and a gas station everywhere, it was woods. Mm-hmm. So they went to the cities. And that's how my people got to here. That's how I'm sitting here today. So I had that strong background of anti-Euro domination, a fuck patriarchal, Euro patriarchal type attitude from jump. You feel me?
Yeah. So what schools you attended coming up?
And wait, I want to stress it that like way back when. So my mama would come and pick me up from school. We'd be playing football or basketball or something, and she'd sit there and watch the whole game. She came to school every other day, was involved in my class, knew the kids. And so one day I said, such and such, he my friend. Mom said, I'm like in the second grade. I'm like in the second grade, she said, not that motherfucker.
Yep.
And when I said, well,
best.
yeah, Mama, me and him, we you know, he my friends. I be talking to him all in school and stuff. She said, don't sit by him or talk to him. And came to school to make sure that happened. And when I finally got the ass whooping for disobeying her and shit, she broke it all down to me, behavior she had seen. And that dude right now live in New Orleans, and he saw my video of me running David Duke out the French Quarter. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh yeah, that's my dog. We reunited, right? And then when it came to the statues argument, he came on my thread one day, and all I could hear my mom was saying, I fucking told you.
You talking about the statue with the
Lee
Circle statue?
Yeah, the monument statues. We was fighting to have it took down.
Uh-huh.
I ain't seen this motherfucker since third grade. You heard me?
And he came and had something negative to say.
Well, he first got re-exposed to me because of the David Duke video. He saw it. And I ain't know he's secretly watching me on my page. And then one day I come out and say something about the monuments. And here come my dog, my partner, my little white friend from the third grade that wanted me to sleep by his house. He wanted to sleep by my house. My mama just wouldn't let him. You feel me?
Oh, so he was white.
Yeah, in elementary school, St. Pius.
Yeah, so I went to St. Stephen's.
Yeah, I went to St.
I had
Pius,
to leave St. Stephen's and went to Adams.
On the lakefront. You can't
St.
even
Pius
find that school.
Yeah.
It's in the middle of all the houses. The big nice
I played
houses.
the basketball. They got a nice gym. When I was in middle school, we played them.
When I was in the first grade at St. Pius, my mama was dating Jackie Wallace, a professional football player, played for the Rams. Him, Wes Chandler, the Ballers, and another dude I can't remember from the league. They came to my field day for me.
Big shit.
Yeah, St. Pius.
Big
NFL players. And two of them was Pro Bowlers. So I had a very blessed life due to who my parents were. And my mother had a very blessed presentation that she could offer me because of the work she had put in. Just like right now, DD has shown a lot of love in the city, and she don't understand why. Sometimes it makes her uncomfortable.
Because people know her and she don't know them.
Well, and also because they be trying to give her things and stuff. And so I told her that might not even be on me. That might be on Mama. You know what I'm saying? She named after Mama.
Oh, so she just got people just come up to her just trying to...
Well, not just come up to her. I wouldn't play that shit. But I'm talking about people like when we're at events and it's a safe space and people know her and they know me,
Mm-hmm.
She might not know them.
Right. So, you went to St. Aug as well. You said you played in a band. What year?
I was in a band 84 and 85.
What you played?
I was in the color guard.
Oh.
So listen, when I got there, my mama was like, you're gonna go somewhere where you're gonna get a real education you can pick. So I tried to pick like 35 and some other stuff, and Mama wasn't playing that. So she was like, well, first of all, let me start.
I knew I was doing that since I was a child.
Look, let me start here. Well, I knew I was going there, but my mom and daddy had a custody battle thing going on. I went to a lot of schools back and forth, different schools, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I was the first sixth grader ever to go to St. Aug because my mama walked in there in the summer program and told Father Pavlik that I was not going to be walking the streets of the Seven Ward all summer while she was at work. And that my big brother had a job and he couldn't watch me. And that she wanted me to go to algebra class. And Father Pavlik said, well, but he's in the sixth grade, he don't have a transcript. And Mama said, look, is there a price for the class and can I pay it? And he said, yeah. So I was, in fact, the first underclassman ever to go to St. Augustine, ever. But when I got to St. Aug, for real, in the 8th grade, I was also in the first 8th grade class ever.
Yeah. All right.
So look, when I got to St. Aug, at that point, I was living in the shadows. Like my big brother, George, was well known. My cousin Robert was like a brother to me. He born in October, I'm born in December. He lived right around the corner.
Did they go to St. Louis too?
No, but I was like a shadow, or a lot of people knew me as Diane's son, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when I got to St. Aug, and Chris Roberts announced one day they was having trials for the color guard. I said, man, I'm gonna go out there, right? So I went out there, man, and I was trying to find a way to have my own identity, you feel me? And at that time, all you had to do was be in the band. And the girls used to be standing outside.
By that gate, that back gate,
yes,
man.
The notorious gate, you heard me.
It looked like Fort Knox back there now, but you know, we had the regular little metal wire gate that slide open and close. Man,
I was watching. You watched 60 Minutes yesterday, right?
I didn't see it.
I watched it. And they went back to some band footage that was like 3 years before I got there, and the yard looked the same. And, you know, they had on like the same PE uniforms and stuff that we had at my era. So, man, the shit choked me up, dog. Because everybody in high school gonna be on 60 Minutes.
My freshman year, I was in the band, and that was the first year we did the Rose Bowl.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, in Pasadena.
All right.
And right after I left, I think it was probably about 2007, 2008, my first cousin actually was the principal at that time. Okay. And they sent him to Baltimore because he refused to stop the corporal punishment. Father Jones, my first cousin. So how you feel about them taking the corporal punishment out of St. Aug?
Don't you see the band knees ain't up? Don't you see we ain't won a football game?
They cocking back on them horns too.
Hold on, and let me tell you something. I'm not being critical, but you asked me a real question and we have to tell the whole truth today, right?
All right.
So, I was the trainer for the football team 2 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I know that the corporal punishment negated them goofing off in practice and the play not going right, not because they couldn't do it, but because dude wasn't paying attention when it was being explained. Mm-hmm. See, that's what the corporal punishment alleviated.
The bullshit.
Yeah, like, you know, when people, I was in the A-track, and so people say, well, you know, y'all was smart. I say, yeah, well, that has something to do with it too, but you can tell by my behavior that, I do dumb shit too, so I can't be the most brilliant person. But one motivation I had was, I had a parent that was going to whoop my ass if the school called, even at 16, no lie. But not a belt, like mama just tee off on me. If we had a contract, I was getting all kinds of shit I wanted. Polo down, and Gucci watches, Gucci shoes, and whatever I asked for. And I had no room for lack. Yeah, ain't no room for lack. And I'm getting what I want. I'm going all to Africa and out the country with my parents. I'm asking for crazy shit, and they like, yeah. I asked for a guitar, saxophone, all that, played all that shit one time. You hear me? And so, mama didn't play for real. But also, it was a very good thing for me that wasn't no girls in my class, and that if I didn't have my math done, Father Pavlik was going to whoop my ass. That was a good thing.
It was a good thing.
And he would hold you to your potential. Like some of the dudes who he might have felt, needed a little more understanding, he'd let them slide with that B and don't say nothing. He'd stand there and talk cash shit to me with a C or a B. Like, Cole. And you know what? It just clicked to me that he didn't want to hear my mama's mouth. That's why it just clicked to me, just right here, dog.
They know she coming.
Yeah, mama gonna say, oh, see, first thing she gonna do is question me. And if I got anything that I can put on them, she going at them.
He get his get back for that body, so this nigga on. It's hard to fit in with a buster when you don't belong. Who am I? Cruising straight down your block. Established hood nigga, we graduated from ops. He told his partner he gon' get him, but he was pussy too. He prayed on him for a bitch, look what this pussy do. Street runners, I run with gunners, so we flex different. A couple calls, paid it off, I'm truly blessed, nigga. Double laws on my cause, I truly dream about it. Gon' have it all when I ball with this team around me. Young nigga, star rebel, baby, I feel like routed. Go get us, murder dance, I might just catch your body, yo lord. A top nigga, block nigga, a guap getter. Different cologne, she love my smell, I'm a hot nigga. Politic, pass the time, doing good, I'm fine. Marble floors, home decor, couple rooms with a shrine. Graduate.
My favorite priest over there was Father Bob and Father Tony.
Father Tony was cool. My favorite priest was Father Bird.
Father Bird, see, he was a little more lax once I got there.
Oh, he off the chain now.
2001, 2005, Father Bird used to be chilling.
Yeah, well, let me tell you.
Looking like a big Carl Winslow walking through there.
When I hear people talk about how Father Bird regulates right now at this point, it made me have to go find Father Bird when I wasn't even living in this city one time and say, you know what, man, thank you, and I love you. Release Cardell Hayes. I had to go say, you know what, Father Bird, I love you. And he looked at me. I said, you know who I am? He said, Byron Cole. I said, yes, sir. He understood the whole thing, but I still broke it down to him anyway. What I was really relaying to him is, man, Father Bird, that's why when he tell me he off the chain now, it trips me out. Because, man, Father Bird let me disrespect him, cuss him out one day, and everything, all because he wanted to bust me. And I was spoiled and I wouldn't let him. You heard me? And so rather than be a man and take them fucking licks, I chose to cuss him out. And instead of him, you know, going to Pavlak, getting me put out, all that, right? He just let me slide. I couldn't believe it. About 3 days later, I ain't gonna talk my home business and my personal situation, but I was having some problems. You know, I told you my parents was having a custody thing, right?
Right.
About 3 days later, he pulled me to the side and caught me off guard, and I was bewildered. And he said, I prayed for you. And I was waiting for him to say the rest, like, you gonna give me detention or you gonna let me get them licks or nothing.
He ain't gonna let your mind fuck with you.
Yeah, he just let me be. And that was the best thing he could have done for me. Now, after that, when I got in trouble, he bust me, and we had established that I couldn't challenge his authority like that no more.
Right.
But yeah, man, Father Bird taught me a real good lesson. My daddy was living in Kansas City. My mama wouldn't let nobody tell me nothing, you feel me? But I was at this school where the rules are if you don't do what you gotta
sign
do,
sign that contract.
Yeah.
Fresh out the first page.
That's what I needed, bro.
The rule book.
That's what I needed because of my daddy being so far away. And I don't want to throw my daddy under the bus. My daddy was working, and he flew me up regularly and everything. He just lived in a different city, and he paid all his child support, you know.
So, what was the moment that led to you? Like, what actually happened that made you say, you know what, fuck this, I need to run for mayor? Like, this shit not right. Who was in office and what happened?
How many times I gotta slap the fuck out you before you gonna slap the fuck out me?
Once.
Thank you. That's what happened. You don't feel disrespected?
I try not to say, I don't really look into it no more. Like, when I don't read into it because I know one thing.
Read into what?
Well, you can see it.
You paying $24 right now on your trash, but they ain't picked up trash but once a week for months. You being extorted by your city. Every elected official you have is aware of this.
Energy charging us
and has a discretion they could use right now to mitigate it fully without no bureaucracy. And some weeks we don't get no pickup. They just skip us and forget. And our trash cans just sit there. And then when we put it in bags, they come back and say, well, we don't want to take the bags. Y'all need to put it in a can. But they know they ain't came last Tuesday.
This is still me.
Yeah, so now, again, how many times can I get up and slap you right now, homie, before you stop, correct that behavior.
Well, yeah, see, this wasn't your first run.
Well, yeah, so I'm still not satisfied.
And you're still not finished.
I'm still not finished. So a lot of people don't understand what I'm saying that are my age because of the positioning they're in. And I'm blessed, I'm not talking shit. But the young people understand because y'all have dreams and hopes and they want to have shit. And so I'm not just trying to get internet famous and do no bullshit. I'm fighting to hold on to, I'm invested in New Orleans. I own shit in New Orleans. Got an LLC registered in New Orleans.
Do you feel like they should let nobody who not from here run here?
No. I feel like that was on us. You can't play me. I can only play myself.
No, like.
Yeah, I just answered you. No. If a fucking crackhead won't run, they got the right. That motherfucker might say something we need to hear, even though I'm not gonna vote for him.
No, what I'm saying is, you feel like somebody from Texas should be the mayor of New Orleans.
I just answered that. If the love is real, they got to handle competition. Do you hear me? Your wife ain't gonna stop being fine when she fall off and win Dixie, my nigga. You hear what I'm telling you? I answered you in full. See, this is at 50. And you cut through all the bullshit. That's how I'm gonna answer all your questions today. If you need me to go back, we go backpedal. And I ain't saying for you, just for everybody. But that's where I'm really at with it.
So how you feel about the leadership in place right now?
What leadership? Show it to me. Have you been addressed about any inadequacy in your city, in front of your house, on your block? My DM full of people that want me to come see them right now.
Well, that's crazy. So
Has anything been addressed?
No.
Have you heard from your mayor about the crime issue?
No.
Have you heard from her about you not being able to keep your car clean in the 7th Ward because of the condition of the streets? Have you heard from her about the white people that won't use a bag and they leave dogs shitting in front of your house? Have you heard from her about the abject poverty still affecting these people? Because any relief for the psychosis during this pandemic? Because people is tripping. And I don't mean to say this to throw this under the bus, but my birth children that came out, these nuts, a couple of them I've had to step in that are adults and never ask me for nothing and say, hey, you all right? Because they got the good job and they're at home clicking and typing, just like the kids in high school doing at school, and that shit weighs on the psyche. And we don't even discuss that. Or the psychosis of post-traumatic slave disorder, which is all that other shit we experience. Do y'all realize that there's a video going viral right now of a white man,
What up, Tony?
upper middle class, that went into a freezy place, a smoothie place. And has any of y'all seen it? The one where they give him the peanuts in it accidentally and his child have a reaction, he get mad and throw the cup at the lady and shout racial slurs? Well, that's going viral right now. I just saw it yesterday on my phone, and then my daughter came and said, Dad, you seen this? And I said, yeah. So
what just happened?
What just happened is a municipality charged a white man with intimidation by bigotry, a crime, for calling a person of a different race a racial slur. Because the cup didn't hit her, okay? And we've been being called nigga and getting hit and, kicked out of institutions falsely and misrepresented and misconstrued because we object to the double standards and the second-class citizenry. And so if they can charge a white man for offending this little girl based on bigotry, then that opens the door for us in every state in America to now have a repercussion for calling me a nigga and proving that's why I lost my job, or that's why you gave me that ticket, or that's why my service was fucked up, or...
Right, and then you got the situation with, like, the Kyle Rittenhouse shit. He got out, like...
Black boy, AR-15, different state, bitch, you're going to jail.
Any state, I feel like it'll happen now. If you're not even from there and you drove 4 hours to go there with a gun you weren't supposed to have and you
Come on, man. You know what initiates criminality by legal standard? Intent. You don't have no intent, you don't have no crime. That's the law. That's what the law says.
But that's crazy because our law's kind of different down here.
No, I'm talking about Louisiana law.
Napoleonic law.
Yeah, I work for a lawyer, man.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. I'm talking about this law. Yes, sir.
Facts. So, what can break the cycle?
Break down. Look, I want to say this to the listeners. Google right now any crime, and in its statute, when it explains to you what it is, one of the first terms you're gonna see is intent. Because I don't want y'all to think I'm just up here talking. I'm on for real. That own that you respect because he was really your own and he really came through when you needed him to and he really understood and he really kicked you that 20 to go to the show. On for real. All right.
Okay, so here we go. From Dvpe. He want to know, why in black communities, when we become financially successful, we got to be doing something wrong or are not about the community, and how are community leaders to help community without money and resources?
I like the way you asked that question because see, the first question you asked is the opposite of that.
Right.
I like this one better because it's harder. So there can't be a contradiction on how I'm getting my money, who is damaging in my community, and me being straight over here. That's a contradiction, bro, period. So if you giving me $50, but I gotta cut off my ankle, I don't know. You feel me? And so, first of all, there is no such thing as a mechanic in a can. Every little bit of movement I can make right now in my lifestyle, that ain't cause I wear polo. That ain't cause I'm cute. That ain't cause I'm fly. That ain't cause I'm ballin'. That's because blood, sweat, tears, track record, resume warrants me the respect that I can garner. And that's how you initiate a movement. So right now, the Treme Sidewalk Steppers coming out with a She King. And ain't nobody even took the time, not one time, to understand the disrespect to all the past kings that represents, first and foremost. And then on top of that, they marching with TV. That's what y'all call her, the mayor. That ain't my TV. But they marching with her. And we was just in a life or death battle for their neighborhood. Right? That I didn't see many of them even participate in the fight for their neighborhood. So I used the example of what I'm going through in real time right now. Raw and uncut. That's what you told me.
Preach on, brother. Preach on.
I ain't preaching.
Preach on.
Everything I'm saying can be substantiated. So, try to run you out your neighborhood. Now, she gonna represent the whole brand. And you gonna force that down our throat. Which made me realize instantly that that's why y'all had the 5 people grab me at the event at Congo Square and pull me away from the mic because it was all a coalition. It was in cahoots from the jump. We're going to keep it 100 out here. Because see, everything that's solid in the street love me. If not because of me, because of what my mama stood for, because of all the people she got out of Angola. So y'all don't even got nobody real enough to come deal with me on no level. Because everything that I would have to fear if I was that kind of cat, loving me, hugging me, embracing me. And so we gonna reconstruct this shit, cut out all the fucking shortcuts, Dvpe, and we gonna earn our shit out the mud, you heard me? That's where we gonna start. We gonna start respecting what's real, what's solid, not what got a proposal, because we rap taught us that anything can sound cold, and every guard look like Curry till you put that fucking D on them.
Hold up, so look, they saying, so why is they calling it the She King? That's it.
I don't give a fuck why. Why do we got to even tarnish the legacy of what the king mean and that type of organization and what it represents and the pillar that it represents from our community. That's a pillar. The king from them different organizations, man, they be putting out little fires, they be helping solve shit, they be doing things. And so that's a disrespect to even fuck with that.
So, Glam Millionaire, she said she was there and you was grabbed. And she said that she felt like you was wrong because you grabbed the mic out the black woman.
Yeah, because what she don't know is that at the last meeting, which Baba Luther can confirm. See, this is what I'm trying to tell you. This is why he who controls the narrative wins. Baba Luther, if you saw right before that, I was standing by him and he was hugging me and trying to console me. Because he know that at the last meeting they asked me what did I want. See, some entities came together. But what happened initially was, didn't nobody give a fuck about Congo Square. But me, Divine Prince Ty, Mikola, Denise, a few other people. The total. Yeah.
Baba Gino, that's my cousin.
Yes, listen.
Shout out
yeah,
Baba Gino,
listen.
that's my cousin.
And after Baba Gino, it ain't but about 3 more people that would go over there and run the tourists off that was sleeping on the tree and throwing McDonald's bags on it. Or the people that was just fucking over the tree. Or the people that was killing the dead chickens and leaving them all around the tree and desecrating the area. I'm who they would call out his bed on a Saturday to come do that shit. You know them ladies wasn't picking up that shit. Ask them who was. You feel me? And so we had a commission. Man, look. We had a commission that we took on our own recognizance to support our community, and we was doing grassroots from our own money, blood, sweat, effort, right? Mm-hmm. When they saw we had a momentum, they sent a commission to us. The dude's name, I can't look at it, it's on my phone, but I'll make it live tomorrow.
Right.
The dude, there's a dude, a rich white dude, that came in the background of a commission that was sent to us. That commission co-opted us and began to start talking about funding and GoFundMes and put a collection plate out at a meeting and shit, you feel me? So you know the whole time I'm cutting up and objecting to that shit, right?
Right.
So, I'm gonna have my seat. When you talking about something in my community that I fuck with and you ain't even fuck with, but now it's some political shit so everybody talking about it. See, my point was we been taking care of Congo Square. When me and my brother was little and my mama took us to Congo Square, I have had tears in my eyes, yo, saying, Mama, why we gotta come here? Ain't nobody out here, Mama. What is we doing? So what I did is when somebody called me and told me we had a problem at Congo Square,
Thanks.
It hit me somewhere deeper than most people, and I responded, and my people could tell you that. You heard me?
So
I responded. And so wait, I'm gonna answer that question for them.
Right.
So when I responded, they sent the commission. The commission started overpowering us, collecting money. There was no detail of who was getting the money, where it was going, how much was coming, and shit started popping up like t-shirts. They say they paying for that, but we ain't seen no invoice. We don't know how much was spent, if nobody's skimming. People who start calling for any type of audit on that were being shunned, and you know, like there's other people that sat there and witnessed this. Okay, I have a person who I don't work with named Morgan Clevenger.
Right.
That was my mama's enemy, okay? So she ain't gonna lie for me. When I said a bunch of groups came together, I loved Congo Square so much that I worked with Morgan and a few other people that I don't necessarily deal with, right? When I got to the third meeting event, Morgan was standing outside smoking a cigarette or something, or talking to somebody, and I read energy, and I knew that there was an issue. She can confirm everything I'm saying about them stealing and making it a platform to promote their side businesses, what they do, and all that other shit, and that ain't what we was trying to do. So yeah, I was fucking pissed. I'm representing my people. But why I really proved the point I proved, which was that they can't take me off no mic, because I got back to that bitch. But what I really did that for was because at the meeting before that, I check them on their inadequacies, homie. And when I check them on their inadequacies, they say, okay, B, you at the table, what you want? I said, I just want the mic at the next meeting. I want 2-3 meetings. So, 2-3 minutes, excuse me. So when I get there, I see all these, and no disrespect, but I see all these cats under me that for years been in my inbox and been watching me, and every day I'm the paradigm for everything they do, and they ain't did a fraction of what I've accomplished, and they up there saluting them as the future barbers and all this, and with me and Noonan Man and other people who be in the street every day standing there as disrespectful, period, right?
Right.
And they think I'm not gonna say nothing because when they talk about the elders that are gone, they mention my mama. So they think they done pacified me. You heard me? Which it ain't about nobody knowing me or nothing. But at that time, I don't say nothing about it because I'm thinking, fuck, you know, I'm confirmed to have the mic anyway. I'm going to say what I need to say so it's going to all get expressed. You feel me? So I let that slide that they saying all this bogus shit in there and making it like it's spiritual and light and sage and
That's
shit.
just some strategic shit to shut a nigga up.
Yeah.
You know,
So when I realized I wasn't going to get the mic, I objected. Baba Luther went and spoke for me. All that's on video too. You feel me? Motherfuckers they don't understand or they don't say. Baba Luther said, yeah. I said, Baba Luther, you was there. I was supposed to speak. He said, yeah, Byron. He said, you're not on there? I said, no. But then when I look and I see people like Wise Eye Chris, who he'll tell you, he fire, he my nigga, but he my little brother. He know that if we talk about this here movement, he my little brother. You feel me?
Right.
And they got all these kind of cats up there, and a real staunch message needs to be delivered, and ain't none of them gonna say it, and that's why they done blocked me from the mic. That's why I figured out that Tremaine Sideways Steppers coming out with her and them. All them was who's out there that day, supposed to be fighting for where they stay, but they ain't want me to say what I needed to say. Now they coming out with TD. They done got a check.
They don't want
Oh, so I cut up on purpose, but I had a right to. I wouldn't have went out there if I wasn't going. I was told I was getting a mic. I just put Baba Luther on the spot. You heard me?
Right.
And
So February 7th, the town hall meeting, is that what this will be pertaining to?
so what?
The whole situation when you're saying about Baba Luther?
Nah, I don't use them platforms to handle my personal business. That's just all handled.
Oh, all right.
Right. That's just all. Man, look. Beef got to get ate or squashed. Period. You feel me? I don't let nothing linger. I don't use them platforms for my personal shit though. With these town hall meetings, what I'm doing is I'm establishing a platform to create a base for our people to file complaint if you want to use the system, or just to be able to keep record and know which cop dirty, which restaurants say no niggas and da 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 da, and to be able to, you know, deal with justice departments, be able to deal with the feds on a level to help us deal with disbanding this second-class citizenry. But we have to start by collecting data, because not just for them, but like a lot of people just sitting back thinking they having this one problem, they the one having this one problem. The system is attacking us on a whole, and it's fucking very, very cumbersome, man, on the average, ordinary citizen. And so they're gonna have to slow down and look at conditions and, you know, deal with causes instead of responding to effects. That's what the issue is. Oh, somebody killed somebody, arrest them, more police. What would make a motherfucking 16-year-old that would want to, you know, grow up and be a basketball player at least, but if hopefully he's thoughtful and wants to be a doctor or a lawyer and think I'm going to get me a Lamborghini, I'm going to have me a pretty wife, and will sacrifice all that on something so frivolous if it were not, you know, in such mass numbers from our community, if it were not an issue of the conditions creating that. And so when you look at all the empirical data we have, and then all the organizational data we have, like from the ACLU and all that shit, homie, it's clear to see that if you say I stole your phone, and I say, man, I ain't stole your phone, and then this nigga camera say, hey, man, B, we got it on the camera, you reached over there and grabbed that man's phone. But I'm still swearing I don't got your phone. That's what they doing us.
So you ever feel like she personally targeted anything in your movement?
Who?
Contract. Has she ever personally targeted you that you?
Let me tell you something. Everything Cantrell does that's positive is because she's one of my biggest fans. I can prove that she paid staff to watch what the fuck I'm saying and doing.
No,
I mean, that not just me, but yeah, she had her COINTELPRO on
she
social
got a hit
media.
list.
She had somebody she paid just to deal with social media. Fuck. You think they wasn't doing everything they needed to do in terms of data collection? I look and see where my likes coming from, who liked my response to what and what demographics. You know, if you I got a business page, it'll tell me where they at, what cities and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The insights.
Yes, sir. That's what I mean.
Insights. So, anything you need anybody else to know about the town hall meeting, about where, as far as where it is?
So, the next town hall meeting is February 7th, Monday, at Pralise on Frenchman at 6 p.m. But I also want to say that I'm making plans right now to get a facility across the river. And I also talked to Ron from the Nina building in Lower 9. And what we're about to do is we're not going to just sit here and watch on the news us become victimized and don't even get to, any input in on the narrative of what's really going on and let them just create whatever they want to create in terms of the perception of our youth, right? So we got the 9 covered, we got the 7 covered. I asked a friend of mine to reach out to a person across the river as a space on Newton. And what we're going to do is we're going to channel all our issues to these town hall meetings, and we're going to channel all of our programming, tutoring, mentoring. If you do that and you have a model and you can show it to us, come on. It ain't about no one organization coming up or nothing. This is about us taking control of what we can control to predict, and control our fate and where we're going as a community.
So, do you feel like we should have Mardi Gras? Being how bad everything going with this?
I feel like we so programmed that is one of the craziest questions I ever heard.
Because they're charging and everything for it now.
I think that's one of the craziest questions I've ever heard, where we've gotten so far in our critical thinking and consciousness from my mama's generation to ours, where we're willing to bend and waver. Because what does that mean? And I ain't saying this to you directly, but this is what I want to say to a lady who asked me at church and somebody who asked me at my daughter's school. I wanted to say this. What do that mean, should we have Mardi Gras? I let a motherfucker do whatever they feel like they want to do. You won't pay for them floats, you won't fix that shit, you won't drive down Canal Street to do that shit. If I won't come, I might come. If I don't, I ain't. I don't owe you shit.
Well, you saw how much they charging to get in the parades? $80, $75. Like, you gotta buy a ticket.
Listen, man.
to go to Mardi Gras.
Anybody that will pay to go to a Mardi Gras parade is a fucking jackass. Unless you're from somewhere else. I'm not paying for no parade. And I'm going to tell you this right now. If Zulu charging.
They're definitely charging.
Oh.
Mardi Gras Day is $80 for a ticket. And
so do what? Walk around?
To be outside, basically.
I don't know. I think they controlling it how you do the Macy's parade and all of that.
It ain't going to be to go outside. Because let me tell you something. If so, I'm going to tell Mardi Gras Day. Bring your camera.
They got a list of the Burger Street.
You're going to tell me, like, oh, fuck Burger Street. I don't go there on Mardi Gras Day, never.
Under the bridge gonna be closed, gated off.
But they can't tell me I can't walk or drive down Claiborne.
Exactly.
Period.
It's not for the culture no more.
It's not for the culture, but we're gonna be outside. We're gonna do our thing. That's gonna force us to go back to what's natural to us.
Being with the family.
And that's why it's important when we discussing about Treme sidewalk steppers. Because y'all got to be real with us and loyal to us. If we all we got, fuck.
Tremendous sidewalk steppers, man. They said what they supposed to be rolling next week, but I didn't even know what the whole situation was about that. And you said something about a She King, but That's what everybody was asking. They was like,
It
is it supposed to
ain't
be
just the She King.
just rolling with
There's
the
also,
alone?
bro.
She tried to take y'all
She
shit.
tried to take y'all shit. And it ain't like she had the bad people in the white, in the white sector that was trying to push her or force her, and she had a consensus behind her. Even the people from the French Quarter say they don't want no tall buildings blocking their views. See what I'm saying? So she didn't have, not even our enemies was behind her. Just put out her ass. Somebody decided they wanted to do that. You feel me?
Right.
Or she or a group of her friends, because she didn't have no consensus whatsoever in this city. Not even from our enemies. Dickie Brennan and them said, nah. You understand? We're not, because they didn't want to block the views. They didn't want no 10 and 11 story buildings right there blocking their French Quarter views. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so they control it.
Yes.
They control it.
And so they were still even on our side for that one. And so the point I'm trying to make is that, she betrayed us. How could they march with them and then still say they grassroots of the people culture? That's a contradiction. We all gotta choose. You gonna let me piss on you and tell you is it accidentally pour water on you?
Hell nah.
All right.
We're gonna fight.
Yeah, I know this. That's why I asked you that.
So-
That's what's happening with us though.
So it's looking like we're gonna have to go and maybe after the town hall meeting we could do another one, man.
Yeah.
Come back and get some more up out and pick your mind a little more.
Yeah, let's do it, man.
Appreciate it, man. And
Yeah,
this
it's that 7-1 love.
all the time.
For sure.
And so this is gonna conclude this week's episode, man. Stay tuned. We got big things coming. Make sure y'all go watch what happened to Angie. Shout out to Hollywood Pompeii, Bag, Shooter, and the whole Hollywood Media Group family, man. And we out.
Peace.